What's up guys, it's Grace and welcome back to another YouTube video. So today I'm going to be doing a video that I've been wanting to do for so freaking long, and I'm so nervous because it's a very important video. Trigger warning if you're triggered by suicide or self-harm or depression or anything like that. Before I start, I am not a psychologist, obviously. I'm 16. I have done 2 other mental health videos for my mental health series. Today I'm going to be talking about depression, and I'm going to be telling you guys like what it is, educate you like how to get diagnosed, all the symptoms, what to do about it, types of medications, types of treatments, and I'm also going to tell you some of my stories along the way, a little more at the end. So I'm nervous, but I think we should just go ahead and get into the video because it's an important video. Even though how nervous I am like talking about it, it's still like important to talk about. What is depression? Depression, aka major depressive disorder, is a mental illness. It affects the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. 6% of the population has depression, which makes it the most common mental illness. But just because it's common does not make it any less serious or important. Now, first of all, if you're clicking on this video and you're just like sad and you're like, oh, do I have depression? I'm going to show you the difference between depression and sadness, because sadness is an emotion. Depression is a mood disorder. It's not just being sad. Sad is temporary. Sadness and depression is very 2 different things. Depression affects everything. Not only does it affect you mentally, but it affects you physically. Depression affects literally like everything you do and you can't function. Depression is when sad really extends the norm, goes into a spiraling deep dark depression where you can't function, where you can't sleep, you can't think right, you can't literally do anything because depression is controlling your mind. That's the difference between sadness and depression. To even be considered to be diagnosed depression, you have to have 2 of the symptoms. 1, which is depressed mood, and 2, loss of interest. So other than the depressed mood and the loss of interest, some of the other ones you have to have significant weight loss or gain, having too much appetite or having too little appetite, too much sleep or too little sleep. And you're probably thinking like, too little or too much. You could think like, that's weird how it's literally like the opposite of it. And that is because depression really changes who you are. It changes you. Before you were depressed, if you ate too much, then maybe you're going to eat too little now. If you slept too much before, maybe you're going to sleep too little now. So it causes a change in how you were before. And that's why it's like opposite ends of each thing. Having a hard time concentrating and having a hard time making decisions, feeling worthless or helpless, fatigue, which is that's actually the reason most people go into the doctors, is because they're feeling tired and fatigued and they're wondering, maybe I have like the flu, maybe I have this or that, when really they go in there, they give them a depression screening and it turns out that they're actually depressed. Being angry, irritable, and probably one of the most important ones of all is reoccurrent thoughts of death or suicide. Now, even if none of the other ones resonate with you, if you're getting the right amount of sleep, if you're getting the right amount of food, if you're getting all of these, but you are having thoughts of suicide and death, please, even if you don't have any of the other symptoms, if you have this, please go see someone and call if you're about to kill yourself, or talk to someone, because that isn't normal and you should not have that, and even if you have none of the other ones. So no 2 people are the same. Everyone's gonna have different symptoms. Everyone deals with it differently. It's a very diverse thing. Women are more likely to have depression than men, but a lot of people, including myself, think that it's actually women just speak up more, where men are told to like man up, get over it, you're not supposed to be sad because they're a guy. Women report being depressed more than men because they're ashamed of it. Less than 50% of people with depression get treatment. The reason why I keep saying sad and depressed is because, especially in our society today, people who are just sad say, oh, they're depressed, and it really diminishes the people that actually do have depression, and that's part of the stigma. And that's what we do. We gotta kill the stigma, because stigma really hurts the people that are actually dealing with it. So if someone is sad and they just have a bad day, they'll be like embarrassed or they'll be sad, but they'll get over it over like a day or maybe 2 days. But a depressed person, their minds are they're different. So a sad person would just get over it, but a depressed person, they'll dwell on it and just non-stop thinking about it. Think no one's ever gonna let it down, that their life is ruined, that it's never gonna get better, that they're worthless, they're helpless, no one likes them. That's how their mindset is, and they feel like they're just gonna have to kill themselves because they're never gonna get over it by just one bad day, just one embarrassing thing, one thing someone says to them because of their mindset. Now, if you're saying, okay, yeah, I have all these symptoms, then what do you do about it? First of all, you need to go to the doctors. I would say you shouldn't even go to a psychologist yet. You shouldn't go to the psychiatrist, because first, a lot of times depression is caused by other things. So like if your thyroid's acting up. So when you go to the doctors and you tell them all this, they're going to run blood tests on you to rule out other things. And if it's nothing else and they just find it's depression, then they can focus on that and send you to a psychologist and a psychiatrist. So once you're to the psychiatrist or the psychologist, first thing is therapy. Therapy really does help with depression because it gets better when you start talking about it and saying it out loud and telling people and them understanding you. 2 is medication. Now medication can help, and that's antidepressants. I've tried 3 antidepressants in my lifetime. The first one was Prozac, and for me, Prozac like helped it. Okay, listen, if you have OCD, the Prozac helped so much with my OCD. It was insane. 2 is Lexapro. I went on Lexapro. Although they prescribe Lexapro for generalized anxiety disorder, they give it to me for OCD, and I didn't think it helped. If you ask me, I don't know why, I just didn't think it helped. But the one medication that I'm on now still is Zoloft, and I tried Zoloft and it has worked very well. Like looking and going to your doctors and talking about medications, you can bring up those 3, and it works for everyone differently, obviously. The 3rd treatment is diet and exercise. You're probably like, diet and exercise, what are you talking about? Now, why people say diet and exercise can really help with your depression and other things like anxiety and stuff is because in your brain, serotonin levels and I can never say this word, it's like neuropinephrine, I think so. Those 2 chemicals are low when you are depressed. Exercise and certain foods and other stuff can really lift your serotonin and lift your norepinephrine. I forgot to wear the necklace for literally half of the video, but it's okay because I'm wearing it now, and it's the necklace and it has a little serotonin on it, okay? And serotonin is a chemical in the brain that makes you happy. And I can't, because my boyfriend literally, I'm like, he's staring at me. And I can't. The necklace is a little serotonin little thingy that I can wear, and it reminds me to be happy. And I thought, oh, that'd be so cute, you know, to like give you guys serotonin necklaces to wear, and it can remind you of me, but also remind you to be happy and that there's hope in the world. And I thought that'd be really cute. So I have 4 other necklaces, so I'm gonna be doing like a giveaway with the necklaces. So comment below like what makes you happy, and then also put your like Instagram handle so I can contact you through like Instagram, and I'm gonna be picking 4 people. And yeah, so if you get one of the necklaces, it's a little serotonin and it can remind you to be happy. So now that you know what depression is, the symptoms of it, how to get treatment and all that type of stuff, I'm gonna be telling you guys stigmas, and then I'm gonna go into my story. So depression is probably the most joked about, most like diminished mental illness there probably is. So the first stigma that I actually already was talking about is like the difference between sad and being depressed, and obviously you already got that one, so we're moving on to the next one because that stigma has been squashed. All right, the second stigma I'm going to be talking about is
if you had depression, you'd be sad all the time and you can never be happy.
Well, actually, depression is a mood, so it's elongated, when happiness is an emotion. So you can still have emotions while you have a mood going on. So yes, you can be happy while being depressed. You can be happy and still be depressed. And that's the tea. Myth squashed. The third one, which I'm going to be doing a whole separate video on, and which is self-harm, but I just wanted to touch base on it in this video because a lot of people that have depression do self-harm because it's like a very bad coping method. That's a stigma, that self-harm is for attention, and self-harm is not for attention. When you cut yourself, burn yourself, all that type of stuff, it's really to make you feel something because you're either numb, you are trying to get out anger. A lot of people say that people do it for attention. That's just a stigma, because most people that self-harm try to hide. When they are doing it for someone to notice, it isn't to get attention again. It's like crying out for help without trying to like cry out for help. Look, I'm hurt, I'm cutting myself, I'm doing these things, and I don't want to say it out loud, so I'm kind of trying to show you how I feel. It's more for like a cry for help, that they need someone to help them. So there's just some stigmas. Yeah. Also, a lot of people think all depressed people are suicidal, which isn't true. Although a lot of depressed people are having ideation or thoughts of suicide, doesn't mean they're actually going to do it. Now that we have all the stigmas, not all of them, but I can squash them in the comment section, but I want to talk about my story with depression and kind of like give it a first hand deal of what I deal with. For depression started was in 6th grade after I got bullied. I'm gonna be doing a story time on that, but when I was bullied, I really like lost all of like who I was and just everything. There was this one time, obviously when you're depressed you think it's never gonna end. That's like what your life is. Like your life doesn't matter, you're worthless, you're useless, you're nothing. And I'm just sitting there in bed with my sister. We were watching a Netflix movie. We were all like happy, and then I get text messages from them being like all this type of stuff, that they're spreading rumors about me, that they're going to go to the police and get me in trouble for something I didn't do, and all this type of stuff. And I just thought like it's never going to change, it's never going to get better. I don't know if you guys know this, maybe it's just me, but like when you cry so hard that your like face, like there's like sounds coming out, a little bit of sounds, but it's just like pain, nothing but everything at the same time. And I just remember like my sister like bringing my phone out to my mom, and I was like following her because I'm like, don't show mommy, don't show mommy. So I was running after my sister, and I was just like crying, and I was crying so hard that it was like sounds coming out but like no sounds at all, and I was just like so weak, literally falling down crying and like having to hold on to like the wall. I went into the bathroom. I will literally never forget this. I was just staring at myself in the mirror, and it was just like I wasn't staring at like who I was. Like I was staring at like a different person, and I'm just like staring at myself, and I'm just like blank face, like with like a tear coming down my eye, and I just look at myself and I'm like, who are you? Like, what is this? Like, what is this? It's like thoughts of like that, but it's like no thoughts at all. And I just am staring at myself being like I give up. It was like the utter defeat. It was just me looking at myself. I just wanted it to end. When you're in that moment of like you want to kill yourself, I feel like you don't really process that you're like never gonna live again. I keep saying that like you're thinking everything, but it's nothing at the same time. Useless, I'm worthless, no one loves me, everyone would be better without me. And you just want to stop living, like you want to stop feeling the pain because you think it's never going to end. That was in 2000, like the end of 2013. Literally I can't think of a time in like 2015 when I was happy. Like I can't, like 2015 I just think depression, like nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. 2015 all I did was sit in my room, the door closed with the lights off, with the blinds shut. I felt like my life was worthless. I hated how I looked. I hated how like I hated everything. I felt like no one loved me and no one liked me. I would just like cry and pray like, God, please send someone who loves me for who I am. So I was trying to search for like OCD, which I didn't know that's what it was at the time, but I wanted to get help for the OCD because I literally could not live with it. Like I was suffering so badly because I was just like, it was so hard to deal with OCD, which I'm gonna be doing a video on. I went to my sister. I was just waiting outside her room, waiting for her to be like, what's wrong? So I was just sitting there, and she finally was like, what's wrong, Grace? And I just literally, I didn't say anything. I just like cupped my head and just like cried and telling her like everything and being like, I need to go to the doctors, I need to get help. So when I walked into the office, and I was literally pale at first she thought I was anemic, which it means like why you're like really pale, but I was just like sitting in my room for so freaking long that I was just like pale as a ghost. So that's great. So she gave me a depression little interview or whatever, but anyway, she gave me that, and I literally was like the definition of depression. I prayed every night that I needed someone to love me for who I am, and God finally sent that person. That person's Caitlin, and me and Caitlin have been best friends since forever. She really helped me a lot, and I told her a couple times, but she jokes about everything, so she doesn't really take it seriously. But the truth is if I never met her, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't know the people I know today. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for God to send Caitlin back to me, and we would be friends again. Like, without her, I would be still in that position, and she's what made me happy. I told this story like a little bit in my schizophrenia video, but basically I was in the psychologist's office. They were talking, and I remember I felt like nothing mattered, like nothing I could say could change my situation, and it was like such like a stuck, like utter, like I want this to stop but it never will, and the only way to stop it is to kill myself. And I was in the office, and this is like the moment that I was like, yeah, I'm literally going to kill myself. Like, that's like, I made the decision in my mind, like I'm going to end my life. I was talking, and I was talking about people in my life at the time were saying to me, and the person that was in there with me was kind of being like, that's never happened, blah blah blah. And the psychologist literally looked at the person and was like, maybe antipsychotics will help with this and not having delusions. And I just literally, that just killed me. This is like the first time in like my psychologist's office that I was like pouring my heart out, being like, this happened, like they treat me like this, they treat me like that, and she looks at the person, be like, these are delusions, she needs to be put on antipsychotics. And I'm like, she doesn't believe a word I say. And I'm like, nothing I say matters, nothing I do matters, nothing matters anymore. And I just start crying and shaking, and when I cry, like depression, panic attack cry, it's like like that's how I cry. And I'm just like shaking, like I can't say anything, and I'm literally trying to like say it to them, and I'm like, nothing I do matters, like nothing I do, like all that type of stuff. And then I go to the bathroom, and I was just sitting there again staring at myself in the mirror and just thinking, who are you? What is this? I want to die. This is so dumb. Nothing matters. I don't matter. Literally nothing. Like, that's my mentality. It was like nothing mattered. Nothing ever is going to change. I want to kill myself. So I just sat there and I froze on the, I hopped up on the bathroom sink, and I froze, and I was like sitting there, couldn't move, and I was just tears running down my eyes. And I literally have the Snapchat. I literally have the Snapchat, and I'll like insert or whatever if I can find it, where that day I took a picture of the psychology office, and I literally put, I want to effing die. And I was like, literally wrote out this thing, which is so sad. I wrote out like, when I die, because that's when I still had like my Musical.ly account, and I didn't want to like let down people. I was like leaving them behind, and I was like, Caitlin, you can have my account, this is how you do it, because I cared about people. You don't have to be happy all the time. Like, there's other emotions for a reason. It's okay to be sad, it's okay to be mad. There's other emotions for a reason. You don't have to be happy all the time. And I felt like I needed to be happy all the time. I felt like I had just so many expectations. I met Christian. I met Christian, which is my boyfriend, and I was very depressed. I met him, and he helped me a lot with that. And to him, like, I could just sit there, and he just like me still. Like, it was weird. He didn't expect anything from me. Like, everyone expects something from me except him. So when he like came around, and he didn't like expect anything, he just wanted to talk to me, and he just wanted to like literally not talk to me. Like, he just wanted to like sit there like in silence. And I'm like, he doesn't want anything from me. Like, he doesn't expect me to do anything. He doesn't expect me to be funny. He doesn't expect me to be cute. He doesn't expect me to do all this, like, he just expects me to be myself. And that's like kind of what I lost for like that week before like I met him, where I was like really depressed, and he brought that back. And that's why I'm happy now, is because I can feel like I was reassured that, wow, people like me for just me, and not for wanting all my money or wanting all my crap, or me making things for them, like just liked me. That's like what I want to say about my depression. Listen to me, look me right in the eye. If you are ever depressed, if you're ever like want to kill yourself, or you feel like you're nothing, or you feel like you're worthless or useless, or you just feel like, I don't know, you just feel like you want to die, please keep holding on. You got through all those rough patches and you are here now. If you killed yourself, I'm so freaking glad that I did not kill myself back then, because if I did, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be impacting people. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't have Christian. I wouldn't have Caitlin. I wouldn't have anything. I wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to this camera and telling you guys my story, because I would be dead. I think when people talk about suicide, they are just like, oh yeah, you kill yourself. Yeah, but you literally take something and put it up to your head, or put it to your wrist, or take pills, or put something around your throat, and you end your life, and you will never live again. You will never breathe again. You will never smile again. You will never talk again. You will never say hi again. You'll never tell your mom I love you. You'll never pee again. You'll never take a shower again, because you're dead. It's over with. You're literally dead. Like, you're done with. There's nothing you can change about that. You're dead. There's no going back. You're just dead because of how much pain you are in. And I think people need to realize that it's not a phase. It's serious. And I just want to tell you, Grace, and anyone else feeling that way right now, do a little note to myself. Keep holding on, just like all the other times that wanted to end your life. You kept holding on and you were happy again. You got over that rough patch. Just please, just literally all I can say is just keep holding on. If it's for an hour, if it's for a minute, if it's for a second, if it's for a millisecond, just hold. Let me be the light, and you can look at me and be like, I have been through so freaking much, and I've wanted to kill myself so many freaking times, but I held on, got past that rough patch, and maybe there was another one, but I got past that one too, and I'm now here, and I'm living my life. Please express yourself. What is wrong? Tell me what is wrong, because if you bundle it up inside, it's just manifest. That what I do is like stop myself, get myself by myself or wherever I am, and I'm like, Grace, what is wrong? I'm like, what is wrong? And if I have something actually wrong or why I'm feeling this way, I say it out loud to myself and be like, okay, I'm feeling this way. This happened and I'm sad about it. And then I figure out a solution. Telling yourself what's wrong and trying to fix it, and just saying your problems out loud. That's how I deal with it now. You know, you feel worthless and useless and like nothing matters in the world. You don't matter in the world. But trust me, depression lies to you and it deceives you and it just makes you feel worthless and useless. But trust me, keep holding on, because people do love you. I love you. You are worth something, and you breathing matters. If you didn't have purpose, you wouldn't be breathing. Like, you have purpose in this world. You can change other people's lives. I'm rambling, but like, it's the truth. Like, you matter. I wish I could take that little 13-year-old girl and just be like, please just love yourself. Just love yourself. Love yourself. People like you. Please like yourself. Please remember that. And please remember you matter, and remember that your life matters. Even if you want to comment below like what you're dealing with right now. If I don't help you, someone else will help you, because we're all here to help each other. We're all human beings. Like, we all have feelings, and we all want the same thing. We all want to succeed. We all want to be happy. We all want to just live in peace and harmony. So we need to help each other. I love you, and thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me a voice. I mean, when I made my schizophrenia video, I thought that was going to be my least viewed video. Like, no one would give a crap about it. But it's my most viewed video, and everyone cares about it. And that's the thing, like, you think that, oh, no one cares, but people care. I care. And I hope this meant something to you, because I just want to help other people, and just with my story. Because comment below what makes you happy, and put your little @ so that I can send you the necklace. But if you don't win the giveaway, I'll put like the link to like how you buy it in the description. I love you. You matter. Keep holding on. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.